What's going on, everybody? Kriddle here, and we are going to be talking about the Pain Train. This is the newest arsenal in Fortnite Save the World, and if you don't already have it, you want to jump over here to the item shop, go to the event tab. Yours is probably going to be up here at the top if you haven't bought it yet, but if you scroll right down here, this is where I have mine because I have already purchased it. It does cost 1,680 gold. Let's go take a look at the stats real quick. Here are your stats, but I specifically want to point out the crit chance and the crit damage on here. Normally, when you have a 10% crit chance and a 50% crit damage, you don't want to go crit rating on the weapon. However, in the case of this one, it's a slightly special situation, which I'll show you here in just a second, that makes the crit damage a little bit better. So let's go take a look at that and see why. Let's come over here to schematics. We're going to inspect this thing and open up the perks. If you actually look at it, this thing can actually get 30% more damage on 4 of the different perks that you can put it on here. So that would be 120% more damage. I have it, however, with the crit rating, double crit damage, and a single damage on here, which I believe is the best way to go with it. If you go with 100% all the way across the board to the damage, it's going to give you 120% more damage. But with this crit rating, you're actually, these 3 alone allow this thing to do an extra 102%, I believe, more damage on average. So it actually trumps the 30% that this would be getting from just having damage on here. So some of the other options you could go with is fire rate. I don't like to go fire rate. It generally ends up using more of your durability and more of your ammo for less damage. However, damage per second oftentimes does go up when you go with fire rate. So you could potentially eliminate enemies a little bit faster by going with fire rate. Some other options here are going with headshot damage. Of course, you need to be able to hit headshots. I'm not that guy that is always hitting the headshots, as you guys probably see on my Twitch streams often. But the only other major question here, though, in my opinion, would be to go right here with the magazine size and reload speed versus the damage. And the reason I say that is because of the 6 perk down here, you get 1.8% more damage for 1 second, and it stacks up to 15 times. This gives you an overall 27% more damage, but only for 1 second. So you have to continually fire this weapon to be able to maintain that. If you were to go here and have a magazine size, you would theoretically be able to maintain that 27% more damage longer, but it's only 27% more damage, like I said, versus a 30% more damage that you can get all the time on every shot from the very beginning, rather than having to wait 15 shots to get there. Going with the reload speed is very similar. You're not going to be able to take this reload speed and actually get it below that 1 second mark, even by adding in that 75% extra. It's not going to take this thing down below the 1 second mark to where you could fire it, reload, and continue to fire it and maintain that 27% damage. So I still say that going with the 30% damage is a little bit better. But let's go ahead and jump into a mission here. We're going to be going in with my current setup, which is the Urban Assault. So we can actually test this thing in its peak with arguably the best soldier in the game, going with Urban Assault. I will be going with Master Grenadier, so we have the additional 24% assault rifle damage with this thing, and then going with double agent as well, so that we have some extra cluster bombs, which I'm not really going to be using during this because we want to test out the Pain Train itself. So let's go ahead and jump into a mission and see how this thing performs. All right, so we're all loaded up here, and the first thing I want to point out is the sound that this thing makes when you fire it. This thing sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds like a train, going down the tracks, like a coal-driven train going down the tracks. If you actually listen to it, I mean, it sounds so awesome. I've also been told that when you reload, it makes a little whistle noise, but I haven't really been able to hear it too well. So let's see if we can reload it and see if we can hear that noise. I mean, I don't really hear it, but it does have a little bit of smoke that comes out of the chimney of the weapon when you reload it. So maybe it does. Maybe I'm just not hearing it. I don't know. But let's see how this thing performs here. I mean, it absolutely wrecks the smaller husk, as you can see. I mean, this is a power level 100 mission. I'm using a 106 Pain Train here, and it's just going to wreck all the little husk, right? So, it's for the little stuff. pretty much any weapon will take these things out though. So let's go see if we can find something a little bit larger, maybe a blaster or some or a couple of smashers or something, or maybe just a husky husk, anything that we can find. So let's go see if we can search around. We got a smasher here, so let's see if we can take this thing out. He's got a couple of buddies with him, but let's see if we can get sneak up on him, just see how fast this actually does take him out. Let's get right up in on him, and that thing absolutely just destroyed him. That was probably only about a half a clip, maybe a little bit more than that, and he just absolutely got wrecked. So as you can see, this gun is just amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch on over and try this out on a different character that's not a soldier, so we can actually see if if it's still viable on a non-soldier class. So let's go see what we can find out. All right, so here we are with Fragment Flurry Jess. Just to show you guys, I am just using Fragment Flurry Jess base with her Shuriken Master and Commando Spitfire, so we don't get anything special here to increase the damage, and this is just the base damage of the weapon, and it still does fairly well against pretty much all these husks, these lower level husks, or sorry, the lower tier husk with the regular husky husk and the smaller husk, but still doing a pretty decent amount of damage on a typical build that you would have for an Outlander. So we're still able to hold our own here, which is very nice to know. But let's find something maybe a little bit bigger, like a smasher. Someone will throw down that bear to take out that last little guy right there. I always overuse my bears, but let's go see if we can find a smasher and see if we can really test this thing out and compare it to the Urban Assault subclass. All right, so I have found a smasher here. Let's see if we can get right up in this thing. Oh my goodness, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Get out of my way. Let's see if we can get rid of these guys real quick, because I just want to go 1v1 with this smasher and see how we compare. I don't want to have anything else in my way here. So let's get right up in this smasher's face. Oh yeah, swing at me, buddy. Swing at me. Here we go. Let's just see what this thing does. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. About half his health with one clip. Let's see if we can do another half. Oh boy, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. We got him. All right. So that's not too bad. It still took like two and a half clips, something like that, which isn't too bad with, getting no bonuses to it. But there you have it. This is the Pain Train. It's really good when you play it with Urban Assault or other soldiers, but it's still very viable on non-soldier classes. So there you have it, everybody. This Pain Train is the real deal, and my final verdict is I recommend grabbing this weapon if you're looking for a good assault rifle. It is arguably the best assault rifle in the game right now. I definitely do not regret leveling and perking this thing up, and I will definitely be using it more in the future. If you want to try this out before you buy it or any other weapon in the game, feel free to come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KriddleCraddle. I do have the schematics for pretty much every weapon in the game, minus one, but whatever. That's not a big deal. But anyway, come on by and, join up in a game with me. I do viewer games every single day that I stream Save the World. So come by, check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.